Good?
Yeah, we good. We're about to be live in a second.
I need to count you down again.
I think it's live now. Yes, it's live. Let me check it. Make sure they can hear us. Say it's live. I'm checking YouTube.
Yeah. Good. All right. Shalom, Lord Christ Israel. This is Precinct Officer Baria in the Israelite School of UPK up under Commanding General Yohana, 125th Street. Now, what we're going to go into today, we're going to get into waking our people up. The 12 lost tribes of Israel. Our people have been through hell that we don't even imagine. We in Christianity, Islam, every religion that you can think of, and it's destroying us as a people.
That's right.
And we got to gather ourselves together, just like the scriptures say. Let's get into Zephaniah 2:1. It's like we had some technical difficulties with the production, and we're back and rolling. Let's get it. Zephaniah 2:1.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation I desire.
You got it? Go ahead.
Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation I desire.
O nation not desired. Black people, we ain't desired in this place. You know, it really kills me to see the lost 12 tribes of Israel, how we just shucking and jiving as if we just as we just belong here. As it just we belong in a strange land, as we reside in this land. You know what I'm saying? You see the Christian church, they tell you to join your oppressor. You see the Muslim mosque, as if we Muslims in a different religion. You see the Jehovah's Witness. You see everybody, and we in different religions out here, man, and it's destroying us as a people, and it's making us weak. And just like we always love to say in the Israelite School of UPK, if you're missing the Bible, man, you're missing a part of you. It's a certain spirit, and it's a certain part of you. If you're not, it's a certain part of you that's missing. If you're missing the Bible,
that's right.
That's a part of our culture. It's like the scriptures say, we put on a covering that's not of our spirit. Read that again.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Gather together, O nation not desired. Keep going.
Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as a chaff. Before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you. Before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you. The fierce anger of the Lord has already came upon us, man. If you see what's going on in California right now with the wildfires, if you see what's going on all across the four corners of the earth with the tornadoes and everything that's going on, the fierce anger of the Lord has come upon you, man, and he wants us to wake up. Man, we work so hard in the Israelite School of UPK as prophets of God just to bring our people up out of this dirt and hell that they are living in, man. Right.
You see what we and I was just talking to my brother Arch to walk about that earlier, about how hard as prophets as we work to bring our people back to this nation. It's how much we sacrifice and how much we have to deal with. And all it takes is one faith and for you believe in your first wife, which is this truth, man. And for us to come up out this place. And for us to have the faith and the ability and the strength to do it. You know, it's gonna take the brotherhood. It's gonna take you us coming together, just like we said in Zephaniah 2:1, coming together. Because you know, when you come together, we get to feed off each other's spirit once we add the scriptures to us. That's right. Once we add the scriptures to us, we strap ourselves up with these laws, statutes, and commandments. Man, we are the most powerful of people on the face of the earth. You know, this is our first class in Augusta, Georgia, man. Augusta, Georgia, we have to wake up out here. Throughout the four corners of the earth, we have to wake up. We're going to have to wake up, man. Read that again. Revelations 18:4. Oh, where we do it? Zephaniah 2:1?
Come, we on 2.
Oh, no. We on, okay, Zephaniah 2:1. Go ahead.
It says, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you. Before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you.
Go ahead.
It says, seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness. Seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the end.
I'm sorry, stop right there. You want to know what the problem is, Josh? Because our people don't seek righteousness and seek meekness. You know what happens is that our oppressors push so much wickedness on us that we won't wake up.
That's right.
He pushed so much wickedness on us. If you turn on your phone right now, you on TikTok and you on Facebook. I mean, there's so much crap that our oppressors flood us with, man. And then if you walk outside and you're not walking it past the campus, you're not in class, man, you're totally in the world. Look at what the world is doing to us, man. Look at what the society have did to us. Black people used to be, even though, let me take this, and I got to be careful how I say this. Black people, even in the 70s and 50s and 80s, 80s, that was the cracker of slot. But when you look back at the day of how we stuck together in our culture, in our vibe, and our strength, and how we stuck together, it was totally different.
That's right.
Go ahead.
I was about to say, if I could, two things about what you was bringing out. First, about them fires over there. A lot of people might not know. It ain't just Esau stuff that's burning. I've seen some brothers from out there say that it's a bunch of Black and Hispanic neighborhoods who got them houses back in them times you're talking about right now.
Right.
So the brothers that's back then that might have left something for their kids or got their houses for cheap back then. You know, California gets crazy for the rent and everything. It's like a lot of them affluent Black people, the middle class Black and Hispanics, their houses just burned down. You see what I'm saying? And what you saying heavy too. I was talking to an older brother recently, like 2 days ago. And I had this conversation with him. I was like, the way we treat each other now and the way that y'all grew up treating each other, I said, it's so different that I wish that I could have saw that in person because I've never seen it before. Besides in school. I first seen a glimpse of it at my first class. But besides that, I never seen our people get along and love each other like that. He was like, nah, you're right. He was like, back when I was younger, we got along better. You know what I'm saying? That y'all do right now. He was like, now it's like we just hate each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we dealing with. Like we dealing with a group of people now who at one time were forced to be by themselves. We had to gather together. We didn't have a choice. Right. It's like it's up to Esau whether we gather together or not, basically.
It goes back to what it's like we have to gather together. It's just like I just said, without the Bible, we are missing a part.
That's right.
If you look out there in the world, they might think they know how to gather together. Right. They might think they know how to, come together in righteousness, but it's not. They don't know not to sleep with each other women.
That's right.
They don't know not to do drugs. Right. You know what I mean? They don't know not to do certain things. So when we come together, what the Bible say, man, we'll be the most righteous people in the world. That's right. But that's heavy about what you said. You just finished.
I had a precept.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction.
Go ahead.
That was it.
No, man, that was heavy. This man is not your rest. But you can't sleep here, boy.
Right.
You can't do nothing here.
Right.
And black people, we love to say, man, it's always the Black people that disagree with. I mean, you living in a land where you don't have your own culture. It's always going to be like you on the hamster wheel. Right. This ain't your rest.
Right.
Read that again. Boy, you done brought a powerful precept, right? Boy, you ain't got me back in the boat. I ain't sleeping no more. Exactly. Go ahead. Read that again.
Micah 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction.
Man, Oz just brought out so heavy. I needed some rest. And then again, he just reminded me this is not my rest. That's right. But we working hard as hell out here, Israel. I had to rewind the camera back because, man, I'm sorry, it's like I'm so borrowed tired. But we're gonna get this class done. But this is how iron sharpens iron. Right. This is the brotherhood we was talking about before the class started. Right. Man, read that again from the top.
Micah 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction. Right,
and because it's polluted. It's polluted in all the religions that we just got done talking about. It's polluted in all these different gods that you worship without the real God that you're supposed to worship. That's right. It's polluted in the different belief systems. It's polluted with your woman getting on. We can go on and on and on about how this land is polluted without the right mindset. And we're going to get into that. Go ahead.
If I could, I'm going to paraphrase the scripture when it says, when the wicked are in rule, the people mourn. And part of this pollution and part of what our people not understanding is the people who are ruling over us are a wicked people, man. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? That's why they have to get everything by stealing. They'll sit here and be like, oh, you guys were in Africa and you were, just running around the jungle. You didn't have any clothes on. The white man brought science. Well, if you had so much science and so much good stuff to push, why the hell every time you go somewhere, instead of going, hey, look, what are you doing over here? It's cool. We doing this, we doing that, everything cool. And then you just approach people like that. Why you had to slaughter everybody, bring them a false god, and then make them live the way you live and worship your God?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You didn't do what you said you're doing with the good things you said you bought. You did it with violence, man. Why? because you are a wicked group of people, man. You understand what I'm saying? Everything you touch is polluted. Go ahead.
Can you give me that scripture where it says he gonna live off his belly? I think it's in Genesis.
You talking about the snake?
Esau. Well, it's basically.
You want Esau to live off the sword, or you want the snake?
The snake, the one that said he will live off his belly. I think it's in Genesis. But that's basically part of what you're saying. If you come into the Israelite school of UBK, you're gonna get all these real breakdowns of what we bringing out of how our oppressor is, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Read.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3, and verse 14. It says, "And the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life."
It takes it back to what you just said. About how he has to go around and just steal everything.
Right.
And he has to live off his belly, which means he's going to be a snake.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's going to live off his belly. He's going to be a snake, and he's going to live off his belly of hunger. Man, we got to wake up Israel. And that's going to be the topic of the day. Today we're going to get into the topics of we got to wake up as a people. We're going to get into the topics of how to build a strong household as Israel. And we're going to get into the topic of how we're going to check these women out here, man, because that comes to building up a nation too. You got to be in a strong house. You got to check your woman out. You know what I mean? You got to do it. So we're going to get into all of that today, man. I'm going to start off with that scripture that you had pulled out, man. You can start that from the top if you want to. We ain't got no questions?
Nah, not yet.
Okay.
You want me to go back to Micah or?
Oh, go back to the scripture that you had pulled. That was a good one.
Micah 2 and 10. "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction."
Right. It should destroy you even with a sore destruction. Man, if we could keep continuing to believe in this place, man, we're going to be destroyed. And it's going to destroy us terribly. Take me to Revelations 18 and 4, which is parallel to the scripture that you had brought out. Revelation chapter 18, verse 4.
Let me go ahead.
Go ahead if you got it.
The book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 4. It says, "And I heard a voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquity."
Right. For her sins has reached up to heaven, and God have remembered her iniquity. You got to come out of this place, man. Like what? As 400 years we have been in this place as Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians, we still believe that we belong. After all the hell that we believe, I'm just saying, after all the hell that we've been in. Go ahead.
If I could, when we read this again, can we go to verse 1?
Go ahead.
All the way down.
You got it.
So like, because what you bringing out, like we just had this whole big fiasco with Trump. Mm-hmm. Elon Musk doing Nazi salutes, all this nonsense. And,
you seen it.
Right. And the brother was up there, you know what I'm saying, being a full coon doing the prayer, man. And I said like this, right? You got all the scriptures in the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament, but Revelation tell you what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
So all of that join on to everybody stuff don't make sense if you read and come out of her. Mm-hmm. So let's read about the destruction of the kingdom in the future.
Right.
We gonna get it from the top. So it's like,
look, go ahead.
Revelation 18 and 1. "And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen."
That's if you could. That's what. See, man. See, when I say iron sharper iron, I told you about. Hey, what did we just talk about there? What was the topic of the day? Is wake up Israel and Babylon is fallen. And I didn't even know you was gonna pull that and start from there. We need to start understanding that this kingdom is over with.
That's right.
This kingdom is done with. We ought to see what's going on in this earth. You can continue slacking.
"Babylon the Great is fallen, and it is become the habitation of devils."
The habitation of devils. Go ahead.
"And the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird."
In the cave of every unclean and hateful bird. Man, I remember when black people used to be like angels on the earth. I mean, as far as what we used to see on social media wasn't on back there. I'm just saying as far as what we used to see as I remember when go ahead.
If I could, you mean like back in the day, like
back in the day, how you used to look at the black community, even though we ain't have much, it was like we know how to do with a little bit, but we wasn't as demonized.
Right.
Our oppressors always try to do it, but now it's a different story. I'm talking about when you turn on your TV, you turn on your phone, that demonization comes straight out the gate.
Right. Now, if I could, what you bringing out is heavy. Like, it's video footage of, I think, like Black Wall Street and different things we used to do. Even like sometimes you might find a video of brothers talking or teaching or doing something, and you see back then we spoke to each other like in a respectful manner. We was kind of to everybody. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, brother? What's going on, sister? It was like everybody did that. And I'm not saying we didn't have our problems. We know, of course, we did, but it's like we was in our own kingdom within the kingdom, and we respected each other. Now, but
man, no, that is so heavy about what you bringing out, and I say it all the time. Right now, when I walk down the street, or if I'm going through an elevator, and I see some young brothers, or you see brothers, period, and it's like you just walk in the elevator, you like, hey man, what's going on with you, man? And they just look at you like, this nice ass nigga. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah, we just had those type of, because I was raised by that type of fact. But we talk, we come from the same similar type of background. Right. So we know is that it's a difference between now. We ain't really got that spirit no more as Israel. Right. Coming inside Israel, that's gonna be good. We push it, but that's heavy about what you breaking out. You go ahead, it's like.
Oh, keep talking and read the scripture.
Okay, I'm breaking out the point either way. You want to go.
I just was saying like it was definitely a different time, and that's what's making it heavy, because it's telling you know what I'm saying. It's a habitation of devils, and it says in the hold of every foul spirit. So you just got to think like the longer, and it's funny too. It happened. All this happened and got worse after we integrated. Yeah. So it's like all the evil and everything they was doing. It's like now we sucked into their evil. We ain't just lose our businesses. We ain't just lose the kindness we had and the love we had for each other. We end up gaining something way worse, which was we gained the ways of our oppressor. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like another thing me and the older brother was talking about is I've never dealt with an evil devil at my job. Mm-hmm. It's mostly been an evil black woman or some brother that's trying to do some bullshit. Esau don't really deal with you like that. Like Esau will be evil, but he'll be evil out the way.
You say you never dealt with an evil devil at the job? I'm talking about with evil oppressor.
I mean, in a way where it affect me directly. Like I heard, like, oh, such and such kind of races, they say little stuff on the side. I'm like, he ain't do nothing to me. He's just over there, looking dumb. I don't care about that. But it'll be like you get a black woman supervisor, and it's like she want to pick with you. It's like she finds something weak in a brother or sister, or you don't do the things that they do, they start picking with you. Yeah. And it's your own people at the slavery. It's like, damn, you just a taskmaster. Like it's just like slavery. Esau in the house damn where he got you out there abusing your brothers and sisters because he put you over. Right. You know what I'm saying? You like to snitch at the slavery.
But you already know that's scriptorial though. Right. Our people has become as their father. Right. The oppressor. And like I said, man, we live in some times where, man, if our people don't wake up, man, they're just gonna be lost out. They don't come into the Israelite school of UPK. Go ahead.
One more point on this before we keep going is the MLK Day just happened, and they had a giant MLK breakfast. You know what I'm saying? With all these older brothers and sisters, mostly that was going to it. They had this here in Augusta. Mm-hmm. So here in Augusta, they had this, this big event. And as I'm watching the people go down there, I'm like, y'all following behind Martin Luther King, and y'all did all this. Now y'all still celebrating him to this day, and it's like there's no young people coming to this MLK celebration thing that I was at. I think the mayor around here or the sheriff, somebody was at there, but it was all older people, like me, the Walker people, and I'm like, there isn't a bunch of young people here with y'all. Yeah, it's people that's in fraternities and the sororities and the Christians, but it's like you left a generation and an entire group of people that's left out of this, because when y'all went to go join Esau, all of us couldn't go. Right. Esau don't want to look at all of us and it be too many of us. You see Trump right now is pushing the removal of the Mexicans. You think part of that is I said that before. I said that, back in the days, we usually hang out at a corner store and, you wouldn't even get bothered. Let us all hang out at a corner store today. 5 police cars will pull up. They want to see what you up to. They want to see what you're doing. And then if you're in a Black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian community,
everybody can agree with this because you really see, and this is the thing that I do not understand. You just brought up another point. That's why I need you to talk sometime. You just brought up another point. This is what I do not understand, and I seen this the other day. Me and Shaw know about this over there by Jenny Holmes. I know Shaw, he stayed in Jenny Holmes as well. I said when I rode past that store by Jenny Holmes, man, I literally seen the Oriental and another brother arguing because the brother was selling drugs outside the store, and he was trying to get the brother to go on or whatnot. And the brother was like, he was going at the brother, and then he was like, "Well, you need to get your own store." And the brother was like, "Well, this is our neighborhood." I said, you know how messed up we are as black people when you got to start selling drugs out of your own, we selling drugs in our own neighborhood out of a store that they have within the neighborhood, and he telling you need to get your own store in your neighborhood. Like, what type of sense does that even make? You able to come inside our neighborhood and make a real living. This brother, even though we don't agree with selling drugs, it's all wickedness. Right. But this all these brothers know. They ain't in the truth. Right. So, we got to be able to push this truth to them so they'll know what to do. You know what I mean? They'll know, just like the Christians say, they got to pull up their pants or whatever it is. You want to be a soldier. These brothers just ain't got no guidance. Right. You got to be the guidance that gives them that, so you can give them a light to know where to go. Exactly. So, this heathen was sitting there telling him, he was like, "Well, you need to get your own store. Where's your store?" Basically telling us, where's our stores in our neighborhoods? It's like, you got to wake up, Israel. That's a part of the topic. He telling you need to get your own store. Okay, this is the thing. And you want to know what is so powerful about this is that they have a Chinatown. Why you building your town in mines? Right. Go ahead.
If I could, there's something else I didn't know. I did landscaping down here in Georgia before, and we'll do like 30 houses in a day, like a Georgia house. Yeah. Now, Pete, 30 houses is a bunch of yard. Yeah. Big neighborhood, stuff like that, right? Sometimes it was like the smaller little square zones, but most of the time,
who owned it?
So what I started noticing is some of these neighborhoods I would go in, it'd be all Asian people. But these not like in the hood where it's like, okay, it's Chinatown. No, it's a house. It's houses with 4 or 5 bedrooms, all of that, and nothing but Asian people live there.
Nothing but Asian people live there.
It's towns in Georgia where every child that get off the bus is East Indian, and everybody standing outside is East Indian. So I'm doing a landscaping.
So that basically proves the point that we some slaves,
right? And what's heavy about it is one of the neighborhoods I was in, cars kept coming down.
Yeah,
I'm doing the leasing office. Like I'm putting whatever I'm putting down by the leasing.
So that was your position in it.
And cars are coming down. Yeah, I'm just putting down the fertilizer. Car coming down. Car coming down. Car coming down. Car coming down. I'm steady looking like, damn, all these cars coming down. Everybody that hopped out that car was an Asian woman.
You want to know just by me paying attention to you? Us as Israel, they designated you into the area to say, yeah, these the brothers that are going to take care of you right here. These the brothers that's going to do it. Right. We slaves in America, man. I did it as I was driving trucks, and I used to ride. I'm in Colorado, Washington. No matter where I went, I always seen Israel working the road. Right. No matter what hotel I stayed at, I say that every time these heathens, they use the same formula. Even if they own a restaurant, you'll always see a Judite, which is Israel, tribe of Judah, black, and you'll always see an Ishkarite in the kitchen. Right. At the front desk, you always see them on the phone, answering the phone. You always see them on the phone translating, and you always see Ishkar in the kitchen, whipping it up. They got a formula down pat on how they're going to slave you and play their position. Right. Okay, if we can build a business and then we need these people, this is the people. This is going to be their position, and these are the people who we're going to use. Right. So we got to wake up and start understanding that we became cattle.
Right. If I could, I got a precept.
Go ahead.
This the book of Deuteronomy. I'm gonna start at 28 and 15. it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
That all these curses should come upon thee and overtake thee. Keep going.
All right, I'm going to drop down to verse 43. It's Deuteronomy 28:43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
Right. The stranger that is within thee should get above thee very high. We already see it right now with our oppressors. Right. He already became very high, above us.
And if I could too, that's what we was talking about, like what you said with that story where it's an Asian man in the black neighborhood. The black man is outside doing something he's not supposed to be doing. And the Asian man tell him, well, why don't you go get a business after he tell him you in my neighborhood? That's the stranger that is within us or in our areas getting above us very high. You understand what I'm saying? Because now this man looking at you like you just dirty and shiftless and don't have nothing going on. That's how he looking at you. And he telling you, you need to go get your own.
You're dusty. You ain't got nothing. you remember? I don't know. It was years ago when Trump was up there. He was like, y'all own no business,
right?
Man, they be laughing at us, man. I mean, a brother get a 38 and an 8 ball. He think he balling,
right?
And I hate to laugh about it, because I come from that. Right. I'm saying we think we balling, you ain't got nothing,
right?
Man, that is so funny. Go ahead.
And if I could too, that just showed and this is on topic because we trying to tell our people to gather ourselves together. You understand what I'm saying? Like with this brotherhood and with us keeping the laws of this Bible and knowing who we are, we'll know being a drug dealer is beneath me. Being beneath you is beneath me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like we go to the slavery and we at the slavery doing what we're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But at the same time, we don't look at the people that's supposed to be over us like they anything special. It's like, well, I'm just in captivity right now.
Well, we do that because we're in the Israelite school of UPK.
Right.
I mean, but just look at the music that you hear. You know what I mean? You got black people calling other black people broke when they was broke at one point in time.
Right.
Like, where does that come from?
Right.
Like, who's pushing this? You remember when we used to just push positivity as us raising our level of consciousness or whatever the case may be, raising our levels of us coming out of this oppression. Now all of a sudden, man, you broke. If you're not as wealthy as a nation, you can't call nobody else broke.
That's right.
The Chinese are wealthy as a nation.
Right.
The Arabs are wealthy as a nation. The whole Orientals, no matter whether if you are Japanese, Vietnamese, Korean, they got themselves together, got up on their feet, and they're wealthy as a nation. Right. Black people have to be wealthy as a nation first before you quit to call somebody else broke. Go ahead.
The money don't got your face on it.
Right.
And it's just like, even with that, like when you get money, you can't even go around your people that don't got it because they're going to take it from you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and this is another thing too. Like I work in the hospitality industry, and I noticed that black people that do entertainment, when they show up, they got security with them.
Yes.
The Edomites have been doing entertainment. Like you will hear like a band that's been around forever.
Okay.
And they still doing shows, they still touring. When they show up, there's no security. You see what I'm saying? Because just like what you bringing out and what we bringing out, our aggression is towards each other, man, instead of us gathering ourselves together. Because our people know that if I got money, if I'm driving around in this Charger, if I'm driving this Rolls Royce, and my people see me, they're in such a low state, not just in poverty, but mentally, they're going to try to take this from me.
You been doing around at 28 and 24. You just came up with something. You just came up with something.
You wanted 24?
Let's hear it.
But the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 24. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. Is that
the one that I'm looking for?
Oh, paraphrase.
Hold on. It says your eye should be evil towards your brother.
I got it. That's down some.
That's down some?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking for your eye should be 54. Oh, 54. Come. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 54. It says, so that So that man that is tender among you,
that's it,
and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother.
That goes based off of what you just said, huh? You know what I mean? Now, you know, our precedent turned us against each other, right. Which coming up in Augusta, Georgia, right where we located at. Shout out to Augusta, Georgia. We about to build this thing up from scratch, y'all. You know, man, coming up in Augusta, Georgia, man, you know, it had a loving spirit. You know, we ain't never really had that. You know, it's connected to South Carolina. But I remember we used to, in the small pocket where I grew up at, man, you had the CD man, you had the dude who worked on the cars, you had, you know, just a regular black neighborhood where we all stuck together. You know, when we ain't had that, I used to go over there, knock on Miss Elma doors. Hey, man, we need some hot dogs over here. She got some cheese. She used to pour hot sauce in the Ziploc bag. We did some bargaining and trading.
I've been there.
Right? You know what I mean? And now, try that now. Right. Negroes will look at you crazy. Man, this man told me to buy sauce in the Ziploc bag. Man, he broke. Where did this come from? Right. You know what I mean? You know, we treat each other like it. I don't get it.
And if I could too, and this would make the Christian church so evil, man, is because they push for us to follow after Esau, to kiss Esau's behind, man, and worship that white Jesus and participate in his political system and all that. But they do not teach us about this Bible.
Right.
So the fact that the Lord said all these curses going to fall upon you for not keeping the law, and our people push harder than anybody, harder than Esau, for us not to keep the law. Now, Edomite don't never got to tell you God's law done away with, because your pastor going to tell you. Your mama going to tell you. She going to cook pork. You going to say, Mom, you know, in the Bible it say not to eat the swine. That's unclean to you. Oh, no, baby. Jesus did away with all that. We can eat whatever we want to eat. You see what I'm saying? And then because of that, now it's an Asian man in my neighborhood with a store, and I'm outside selling drugs.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Now it's my eye even towards my brother and another people that live in my neighborhood. They say the Asian man, for the most part, ain't nobody gonna rob him. He owns the store. Anybody mess with him. Yeah. They mess with you because you didn't got a Hellcat and got a messed up deal on it to where you gonna end up owing money anyway. They're gonna get you, mess your credit up, do whatever. You done finally bought yourself a Hellcat. Like, man, forget it. I'm gonna just make content.
If I could, that's why we got to take it back to Deuteronomy, because it talks about that I'm gonna be robbed. Right. You know what I mean? The fruit of thy basket. You know what I mean? Thy store, thy land. You know what I mean? I want to take it back there. Well, we could do that now, because you know this is the topic is wake up Israel. We have to wake up in full. Right. So we can go back to that now. Start off where you started, left off at, if you remember.
So Deuteronomy 28:54. So that
no, you got to take it up a little bit. That's 54. I think you got to take it up near the curses.
You want curses to store in our basket?
Yeah, if you can start from there, but I know the scripture that I'm talking about is near there.
Let me go back to 15. Did you want me to go back to 15?
15 is where the blessings are, right?
No, this is when it say you're gonna get cursed.
Okay. Go ahead.
Let's start at 15.
Okay.
Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments.
If you don't hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, for the people who are tuning in, who have never heard that they was Israelites before, you're the 12 tribes of Israel, and that the reason why you're in this situation is because God has cursed us for breaking his laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
Keep going.
It says to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Keep going.
It says, curse shall thou be in the city.
Curse shall thou be in the city. You're going to get robbed off a Hellcat.
Right.
You're going to get robbed off your job. You look at your paycheck. I'm talking about Negro be over there at the thing, and they be scrolling down and say, I know I got these house. Man, you robbed. They got you. Right. Go ahead.
It says, and curse shall thou be in the field.
And curse shall thou be in the field. You're going to go ahead and gather things, man, and they're going to eat you up there, man. They're going to rob you on everything you gather out in that field. Go ahead.
If I could, too, that's just like living in the city versus living in the country. You know what I'm saying? Our people would be like, oh, I'm gonna leave from. I just came from Philadelphia. I'm gonna leave Philadelphia. I'm gonna go down, to Georgia and live a better life. And it's like, well, the curse is still down there in Georgia.
It's everywhere you go.
They definitely in Mississippi.
You know what ties along with that? When Negroes say that they gonna go to Africa.
Go to Africa if you want to. Look, if I could, some of our people did that. They went to Liberia. You know what they did when they went to Africa? Went over there and fought the Africans that was already in Liberia. So
go over there if you want to.
You left Esau and went over there and went straight to war. and a lot of our people go over there today, man. Sisters and brothers go over there, man. And them Africans, they just rob them.
Yeah, now they coming back.
They just milk them over time. Like, yeah, it's gonna cost this much for this. Slide that across the table.
You told the people to go over there. Now you dashing back over here.
Right.
You turned it to passport bro to dashboard bro.
Right. Now you come back to the States. The Americans and take everything you had. American money? Okay, cool.
Woo! Yeah, I don't get that. You know what I mean? The women ugly as ever. Go ahead.
Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Mm-hmm.
Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land.
Cursed should be the fruit of your body and fruit of thy land. Israel, we're supposed to be solid. You know what I'm saying? We getting it together now. We learn the dietary law. We learn the Leviticus laws. You know what I'm saying? I ain't eat bad in about 3 days, I'll say. You know what I mean? We can't control the food that we eat, but once you learn the dietary law, you come inside the Israelite school of UBK, you'll try to be wise and pick some things, but we can't control what our oppressor does to us in this land. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be cursed to the fruit of your body. You're not gonna control the things that you eat. You know what I mean? You're not gonna control certain things. Go ahead.
It says, the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
And everything, like it's cursing you everywhere in your life. You know what I mean? You don't control who owns the water. You don't control who owns the food. Go ahead.
If I could too, that curse when you leave and when you come in, that's basically saying too, like when you leave your house, you in danger. You're gonna be cursed when you go outside. The cops might pull you over. You can lose your life right there. And a brother might, something might happen with a brother. A sister might, anything can happen when you go outside and you can be cursed. And a lot of us, the worst curse was in our own house. Why? Because the people that you living with in your house is under these curses.
Come on, Naj.
And because they under these curses, they don't know what to do with a child. They don't know what to do with a family. So now you got a mother that's horrible. They let her boyfriend touch you. You understand what I'm saying? You got a father that's abusing your mother, and you got to watch. You got a mother that's mentally abusing your father and telling you your father garbage, trying to get child support out of them to where they break your family up on purpose, and you got to go in that house every day. You understand what I'm saying? That's one of the heaviest things of why, when I personally charge the Christian church with what we are appointed to charge them with, it's like, man, our people live such a horrible life, man, and you just tell them some bullshit stuff to make them, feel good and put money in your pocket instead of feeding the people what they actually need.
I mean,
shit. like if I could, that's the truth. Like right now, it's a story that's going viral. I'm sure you probably seen it. A grown man was dealing with that 13-year-old
in the back of the car,
and apparently he had been dealing with that child, other children.
I'm saying, no, we're talking about the same story.
Something happened with the car too.
I'm talking about in the back of the car when the police had came and he was in the back of the car with the 13.
No.
This is a different.
This one I'm talking about. I know what you're talking about too. This one I'm talking about is the little girl and him was texting like they was in a.
Oh, this was a girl.
Yeah, the little girl was in a relationship with this 40-year-old man.
Right.
He got her pregnant and then he ended up killing her and hiding the body. You see what I'm saying? So she the last person he was seen with. It might be like her uncle. I think he her uncle. You know what I'm saying? And
not only this is Israel.
This us.
Not only did you mess with an underage girl, that this is uncle.
I think it was her uncle or something. Or matter of fact,
man, we gotta wake up. Man.
Hold on, Slacky. I think he might either it's an uncle or he was sleeping with her mama. That might have been her mama boyfriend. It's one of the two. I have
man, this whole story twisted.
Right? No. Look, it's messed up.
No matter how you put, man, go back to Deuteronomy, man. I don't even want to hear no more of this.
But
I don't hear no more of this, man.
If I could,
go ahead.
That's kind of the point. We just like you just got to think of how bad it really is with our people. Because
it is bad by what you said.
Even that brother, even all the parents involved, they dropped the ball. Instead of getting taught these laws, statutes, and commandments, they went into church and got nothing and gave everything.
Man,
so they went home lost and confused.
Can we
generations?
Can we just do this? Let's leave the church. Wake up, Israel is a topic. Let's just leave the church alone.
They got to wake up from the Christian church.
Let's leave the church alone. You with your okay. You mess around with an underage girl, okay, and you uncle and it's twisting. I mean, I don't understand, but by what you just said, just leave the church alone. I mean, they already a bad influence. By waking up as Israel as a whole, we have to leave everything alone that don't benefit us. That's not the truth. Right. You know, it's not the truth. It's not giving us what benefits. Let's speak about this too. That Tazariak debate with Cooley. Man, I had posted. I made a post. I said, man, if you know how we say when we say that Christianity is worse than a drug addict. Right. And I put in my post. I said, Cooley is the mascot. Right. I don't know if you've seen it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I said, man, that like a Christian would believe they're not wrong for anything. I'm talking about you about them 2 hours, 3 hours straight, and they just straight up, a drug addict will admit when they're wrong. Right. They know that they need help, and you just wasting your time talking to a Christian. Right. I mean, I said we got some powerful leaders up here, and we have different superpowers and abilities. Because I don't think I could believe I'll sit up there 3 hours like powerful. The one brother who I learned from, Captain Zari, I could. Right. Man, because I know he has a different superpower than I do. That Christian there, man, it was different to watch. I'm like, man, this man, he then sit right there and repeated the same thing 12 times and got all the breakdowns he needed and still didn't even listen. So
if I could, and this is a disingenuous spirit that's on a Christian. Mm-hmm. What he kept doing was saying the same thing over and over talking. And then when he got proved wrong, when Cap kept saying the same thing to make him wrong every time, he'll go, me and you won't agree. Me and you actually agree on that. But what I'm saying is, and then he would say what he said again. So he would agree with what Cap was saying, mm-hmm. but disagree at the same time. So that his audience, hopefully they don't know no better and they not noticing his strategy, what he's trying to do.
Say, all Christians, listen up.
So that's kind of like what was going on during that topic, because he kept trying to use strategies to just make him be wrong, and then he tried to take the moral high road. But Christians do not have a moral high road to stand on versus what we do.
Did we get it? If I could, did we get in Revelation 18:4?
Oh, we still was on that. If you want to go back to it, we was on verse 3. We was on verse 3.
Start from the top on that. That ties into what we saying.
All right, let's go back to it right now. The book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 1. And after these things I saw...
No, start at verse 4.
Revelation 18 and 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, mm-hmm. and that ye receive not of her plagues.
You don't want to receive none of the plagues that's coming from Babylon. Go ahead. Right.
It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. Mm. In the cup which she hath filled to her double.
In the cup refilled to her double. That means when we take over, you gotta refill that cup to her double. Right. You know what I mean? And then go back to the debate. This man said that, that means that Jesus forgave everybody and everybody's accepted into heaven. and Captain Zariah came out and said a powerful thing. He said, so the same man that's put us in slavery, he can get the same heaven that the slaves are gonna get. I forgot what it really was, but
You saying it right? You said so the slave master who put us in slavery and us are basically gonna share heaven.
Well, we're gonna share heaven with heaven.
So now it's like, okay, I did have you in captivity. We did beat you back. We did do all this raping, robbing, murdering. You know what I'm saying? We did all this for all these years. Now all of a sudden, I believe in Jesus. Now it's like, well, you fully forgiven.
Right.
And then you still got to just be in heaven and y'all just be the best of friends. But right here, it's saying reward her devil as she rewarded you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what the scripture said.
And they live in their heaven right now. Like, why are we dismissing the heaven that they already live in compared to what we live? Right. I don't get it myself.
If I could, what you just brought out is so heavy. And I was thinking about this watching Cooley. It's like, you gotta try to force your way in the Esau kingdom. You gotta go to his schools. You gotta talk like him, walk like him, or be a LGBTQ member. You gotta sell your
alphabet.
You gotta sell your own people out. So you gotta do what Cooley doing.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, nah, black people commit all the crimes in America. No, black people wrong. That's why they're in the position they're in. It's because they smoking drugs. It's because they don't want to go to work. You gotta be a black person to say that to succeed in this kingdom.
Yes.
To get to their heaven.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So what you bringing out is heavy. In order to get to their heaven, you have to lose everything that will make you independent and everything that will make a heaven on earth for your people.
No, because if you're a black man in America, well, no matter where you at in the four corners of the earth, if you're a black man within this kingdom, I would say, right, is that you have to do something to get some of the benefits that this earth has to offer. You got to do something. You either got to give up your culture. You know what I mean? And I see it now to even just they'll take it all the way to the minimum. Just to even get a regular job, you got to trim yourself some type of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then if I could, so it's like a new heaven gonna come, and you had to squeeze your way into their heaven, and then now they just get to get into heaven with the people who deserve to be on top finally.
Right.
They don't gotta do nothing. They just, oh no, I believe in Jesus. Yeah, I know. Yesterday, I fired a couple black people. What
it shows you is this. I ain't mean to cut you off, but it shows you that the people that say that they pro-black are not really pro-black. They ain't, because when it's time to actually do something that's pro-black, they're going to fold. Right. I mean, to be pro-black, which is the Israelite School of UPK, who is really pro-black, you know what I mean? Stand up for the Hispanics and Native American Indians, the 12 tribes of Israel. We willing to give up anything to defend them. Right. It don't matter what it is. Mm-hmm. That's heavy about what we bringing out. Me and Oz teaching this class, we going back and forth. So, it's both of us that's teaching. But, it's crazy how this world became what it is, man. But it's always, man, we always got to go back to prophecy. We always got to go back to the scripture. Right. It's funny that black people been in this situation for so long, and we still don't want to wake up. Our chains are on our brain are still locked. Right. I remember in the scripture, it was certain prophet, it was Paul, Peter. He said he wish he would change places with someone. I feel like that sometimes. Right. You just got to thank God that he woke us up to the truth, and we able to see it, and we got to step out there every day and do the job, and then, we going to get it done. Let me get Hosea 4:6, Baba Kashaw.
I got you. Hosea 4. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, and verse 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
That's exactly what we just got done talking about. Our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. The knowledge that is talking about is the scriptures. The knowledge that is talking about is what we're supposed to do as a nation to rise above this. The knowledge that is talking about is, our identity. That's the first thing when it comes to building up a nation. And, it kills me certain times where I see a lot of these brothers and sisters, they come up to you and they want to build and do all this. We don't even know who he is yet. Right. Who he is. We actually, let me say all the time, you give me 5 different answers. I had just play for a second. I don't know if we can talk, we can speak freely over here. As far as, I don't know, it's a certain word I gotta use. I heard a woman that came to me, she lives an alternative lifestyle. And she looks like she lives out. She had a fro. She looked like Manny Fred. And came to me talking about how she want to build, how we should build as black. I said, lady, you need to get yourself together first. The only thing you need to build is yourself.
Right.
Because you're already built. But before we need to build up, we need to start from square one, learning our identity, and come back to the school, man. Come back to the truth. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
What you bringing out is heavy, man. We don't have a foundation, and because and then it's not just we don't have a foundation. We don't have a foundation, and God is against us. So whatever you try without the Lord, it's not going to work. That's what our people don't understand. It's not going to work. The Black Panthers is not going to work. The Muslims is not going to work.
It's not our culture.
Joining a fraternity is not going to work. Nothing is going to work. It might work for a couple of y'all. They kind of like, oh yeah, they in a fraternity. Okay, cool. They over there doing what they doing, you know. But everybody not going to college to go to the fraternity to get in the first place. Everybody don't want to dance. Everybody don't want to be humiliated and hazed and go through all of that. Like our people need, if I could real quick, I just want to say,
go ahead, you got it.
That I often tell people is people got to understand something about these scriptures in us is that Israel was a nation. We are a nation. I mean, Salaki, right now I'm talking about like we lived in a land by ourselves. That's what I mean when I'm saying we were a nation. And as a nation of people, we knew who we are. We knew our laws and everything like that. And that's where our power and our strength is. Because we over here, we don't acknowledge that we are a nation. Yep. You understand what I'm saying? So we're not looking at our like the group's mentality. You see what I'm saying? Like we know between me and you is love my brothers, I love myself. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Between me and you and the brothers in Atlanta, the brothers in South Carolina, is love thy neighbor, thy love thyself. We know what that means.
And all the UPK, you know.
Right. I'm just saying that to say like it's our people that are in these same cities as us, and love your neighbor as you love yourself means to love everybody. Yeah. And if the people that hate you and hate your people, you love them and love your people at the same time, you're doing somebody a disservice. You understand what I'm saying? Like our people, what we're doing is our leaders are like they like shepherds that feed their sheep to the wolves. You know exactly. You grab the sheep and drop them on the other side of the gate where it's not safe at. You know what exactly. I'm saying? You let them roam over there, and then you just go back in the house like you don't even care. So it's just like we just out here and we just left alone, man. Like and like the scripture said, we read them. We just destroy it because we don't know any better.
Right. I mean, you just answered it. Yeah, man, we destroy for that lack of knowledge that the Bible talks about. Right. And that's the reason why we make this the type of decision. You'll see brothers on the internet that say that you'll see that they have zeal, but not according to knowledge. Right. You'll see that they have it, you know what I mean, but they don't really know what to do as a nation. Right. You'll see that they have, well, like cool. I hate to mention these cats, man. I don't even believe they on our level like that. Keep mentioning, but I got to bring out example just for you know. You'll see brothers like that that's entertaining that seem like they got it, but they don't really have the real true wisdom that we have. Right. You know how to maneuver, because this is a different, you know, that if you're in the world, man, you will not be prepared for what this truth has out, because you got to lose everything. I mean, the world is totally built against it. It's like who turned everything of God upside down. Go ahead.
If I could. What you bringing out is heavy, and the Cooley situation is heavy too, because when they say my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, and then you talk about their zeal, our people are seeking to put women back in order, right? That's what they seeking. That's why they watching Cooley.
That's where that toxic masculinity in a high value man situation comes from.
But Cooley and the rest of them don't got the wisdom from out of these scriptures to have that balance, and that's the problem. Because you try to follow after this man and he's sitting there, single baby mothers is worthless and all this. And then we discovered that Cooley was raising a white woman's children. Yeah. And he's with a single baby mother. So how are you going to say we should not date single moms and they don't have value? You tell that to all the black women, but then you're going to marry a white woman like that.
When you go against the scriptures, you're always going to defend what you go against. If you're living that lifestyle. Right. If I'm going against you and I know that you stand on certain things and you know, that even when you go against the Bible, it's like it puts a certain demon on you, to where even though I know you're right, I still got to find myself to make myself right. Right. You notice he ain't really answering no question. You know, if anybody know who that is, you know who we're talking about. But this is only to bring out that, you know, the real way to go is just come inside the truth, because, you know, you're going against something that's really going to add value to you, which is the Bible. Right. You know, and nothing can compete. As you can see, nothing defeats us. That's right. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's something that, you know, people in the world always do. You know, we always gonna see that all the time. You're arguing with Christians on the street, they always gonna find, oh, I got this scripture right here. And they flip and know they can't find it. You know? Right. It's like wasting time even talking to them sometimes. You know.
And if I could, like, our people that seeking knowledge on that internet, and you looking at a brother like Cooley, like, the Lord makes sure his hypocrisy showed. And I feel like it happened in stages. First, it got exposed he was dealing with the Edomite. Mm-hmm. Then he messed around and ran in the cat. And when he ran in the cat, that exposed his real spirit, is that he got his head so far up Esau behind. And Esau let him have one of his daughters. Even though, look, he don't respect single mothers. That single mother right there, man, that brother go to war with his own people for that white woman. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? He make himself look like a fool.
He just in the world. I'm gonna get off this dude
in front of the earth.
Yeah, we ain't even talking about this dude no more. Yeah. He just in the world like it, man. And forget about it. He just gonna be added along to that Christian church, Muslim mosque. You know what I mean? People in the world list. You know what I mean? He got what he deserved. Right. Let's get Isaiah 33 and 6. And this goes based off of what we was talking about before too.
Let me get there. Mm-hmm. The book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
That's where when the scriptures say that, you know, we're destroyed for a lack of knowledge, we got to take it back to what will be the stability and wisdom of our times. You know what I'm saying? And that's these laws, statutes, commandments. That's when the scriptures say, gather yourselves together. Right. That's when the scriptures say, separate from hurt my people. Mm-hmm. You know, and when we gather ourselves together, we'll know who label amongst us. You know, this should be the wisdom and stability of our times. You know what I mean? We'll gain the wisdoms. And even when we got brothers who know they'll die for us. You know what I mean? We got sisters who will do whatever they got to do to build this nation. Right. You know what I mean? Who's strapped up with these laws, statutes, commandments as well. This is going to be the stability of our times, man. Because, you know, we're going to be stable. We'll be able to move around as we're supposed to be. Right. You know what I mean? And we just got to build it. Read it again.
Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time.
Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. Go ahead.
And strength of salvation.
Yes. Go ahead.
The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
The fear of the Lord is the treasure. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
That's right.
I mean, you fear God, man. Then everything comes after that. I mean, so you trust in God with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. Sometimes it's hard to even recognize that. It's hard to do, but you know, it's not really hard when you come into the Israelite school of education. You get taught how to do it. That's because right. Now you got to believe in something that you don't see. Right. Go ahead.
If I could too, a lot of people don't even understand. Like, people will tell you, "Oh, I ain't scared of nobody but God," but they don't know why they should be really scared of the Lord.
Well, that's heavy that you said that. Go ahead. I want you to go ahead.
Because what ends up happening is our people go do all manners of evil and things that the Lord will absolutely kill you for. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't even know how to fear the Lord.
It's like what Captain Ariel said one time. I see it on the post. He said that people are not afraid of dying only if they can have a little bit of pleasure before. Right. You know, it's the same thing.
Right. And if I could, like, that's going into that's encompassing everything that we bringing out in this class, like from leaving Babylon. Mm-hmm. You don't understand why you're better off not joining on to these other nations.
Right.
Like, you don't even get it. Like, King David understood it. When the Lord asked him what type of punishment he wanted, he didn't want to go into the hands of the other nations. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we don't understand how cursed we are to be a slave to another people. You understand what I'm saying? Like the scriptures, the paraphrase, it says, Israel is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't even understand like what fear in the Lord really can do for you.
Hey, I seen something the other day. Man, it really is a homeborn slave.
Right.
Man, I see this other day that was so wicked, man. And I don't even want to go into it because I don't want to go on top. I just say it like this, man. I'm just saying. We gonna get knocked off if I say this. I'm just saying, if there was a statue of an ass up here, of a white ass up there, I guarantee people up there kissing. Literally. Like who gonna stand in line and kiss his ass? Me.
Right.
If one hand, they raise up two hands.
Nah.
Me kissing ass. Me. You know, we got to get up out of there, man. I'm sorry, Israel. You know what I mean? We got to get up out of this. Seriously. Because we caught up in that mindset.
I could.
Go ahead.
Can I try something real quick?
Go ahead.
Like y'all, it's not a technical difficulty. We just trying to iron some things out. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see if something will work real quick.
Go ahead.
You want to speak on your topic?
Okay. Yeah, but you know that's exactly what's going on, man. We got to wake up out of that darkness because you know it's crazy. Just like I just said a minute ago, man. We've been in here 400 years, man, and we still got the same issues. You know, like we say all the time in the Israelite school of UPK, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And it seems like Black people don't even get that. Well, what the definition of insanity means. Because we're the ones that's doing the same thing over and over again and we're expecting a different result. We're the ones that keep joining other people that don't want to be joined to us. You know what I mean? And we're not gathering ourselves together just like the scriptures tell us to do. You know, we're not doing any of that. You got it? Or you just working on something else? But like I said, you know what I mean? We totally going against the Most High with the things we doing out here, man. We got to fix that, man.
Nah, it's the why we can keep going. I'm gonna iron it out when we get the time.
Come. You got it. Whenever you got it, you can just start there from the top again. Isaiah 33:6. Before we get into the cream of the crop, which I want to get into. I don't even think I'm gonna pause. I'm right saying that.
The book of Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Go ahead.
It says, behold, their valiant ones shall cry out. The ambassadors of peace shall weep bitterly.
Right. Wisdom and stability should be the this is what we should seek at these times that we are living in right now. If you're seeking anything else, we are totally lost. Every time you turn on the internet right now, man, it's like we're over sexualized. We go on, you know, us as the ISUPK, we go out there on the streets and we ask real questions. Right. Real questions that's gonna benefit our people. And then again, you turn on the internet, you go out there and you ask somebody what's their favorite position. The top, being the rulers of this earth, being over my oppressor, right. Coming up out the hell that we live in and obeying the Lord. That's my favorite position. That's our favorite position. I'm talking about it's just the retard. It's like, you know, the wickedness that we live in, man. It just don't make no sense. Why would we ask any other questions that don't benefit us as a people, that make us come out of this? Go ahead. You feel what I'm saying?
No, I feel you. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Man, we've been talking about so much stuff, man. It don't even make no sense.
The book of Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity?
Right. You love simplicity. You love simple things. Hey, no, we'll do the drip check up in here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, check the drip. How much that cost? Ain't nothing wrong with it. But why that got to be the only questions that we ask? Right. we look at social media, we see what's going on, man. They answer the question that's supposed to be asked. Right. We was out there at the Augusta Mall not too long ago. Even though we was supposed to be recording up in there, obviously, the footage didn't get posted, only because of that certain policy, public property, Right. But we was in there asking Israel questions and everything, which is such great questions. I'm talking about they was looking at us like, man, those some good questions I got. You know what I mean? See, like, y'all coming here again? Right. We asking things that they never really heard before. Right. They so used to our people just being so fat. You know what I mean? When you come with that raw space, like, well, I ain't gonna say it's like we the only ones that's left. And they just were like, screw the UPK, man. Let's go, lay that sword down and do what we gotta do to raise up this nation. Ask the right questions and do what we have to do to build it. Everybody's scared of our oppressor, man. Just to stay within this kingdom, even the kingdom gonna fall. Kingdom ain't finna last, man. It says wisdom and go ahead, start from the top.
It says, how long will you simple ones love simplicity?
No, from Isaiah 33 and 6. Okay. I know you pulled that one, but Isaiah 33 and 6.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 6. It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, man. So we got to hold on to these scriptures, man. We got to hold on to the wisdom of these scriptures. We got to hold on to the wisdom of the counsels that we get from the men above us. Right. When we need that counsel and all the wise words that they spend time speaking to us about, and how we raise up brothers, man, and how we raise up sisters. Wisdom and knowledge should be the stabilities of our time. Go ahead.
I can say something real quick.
Go ahead. You got it up.
If I could too, the other thing about that is, like, our people don't know how to live their life on the small level or the big scale, the micro or the macro, because it's like you can't even build a stable home. Like, we can't build a stable home right now. We can't,
Man, you hit it, man.
We can't have a righteous relationship between the brothers and between the sisters. Like, our sisters love to tear each other down and tear each other apart. Our brothers, man, like, they like this is what I hate about drill music. Mm-hmm. A brother kills and unalives or takes the life of another brother, and then afterwards he raps about it and makes some of the worst music I ever heard in my life. And it's like,
why you hate on the drill music, man?
Like, brother, you just snitched on yourself for something that's just trash. Like, you don't know how to rap. You saying the same thing everybody else saying.
It's like Ashtawaga hater.
You saying the same thing everybody else saying, and it's like, it's not even good music. Like, we're not even gonna remember this. Like,
I get it.
Somebody gonna get you in a couple months, and then we gonna listen to it for a little bit, and then it's over with. Like, it's done. You just gone, and you just made that trash music, and we can't even deal on the micro scale, because if I could, right. If I could just pull a scripture real quick.
I need you to pull that scripture. I got one coming right after that. I'm looking it up right now. Like I said, we both got there. We both teaching this class, man. It's me and Ashtawaga, man. We had to get it in, man, to give our people this wisdom and knowledge, man.
This is a book of This is the book of James, chapter 3, and I'm gonna start at verse 5. It says, "Even so, the tongue is a little member, and boasteth great things." And if I could, our people don't understand how powerful their words are. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's a difference between what you can build with what you say to people. Like, we know, like and even with the baptism, we know we baptize people with the word and with fire.
Yes.
And it's like, you can say the right words to a person and they'll become a totally, completely different, better person.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's in the scriptures that was going to happen. And because that's the power your tongue has. But at the same time, if you speak evil, you can destroy yourself. You destroy your children. You can destroy your relationship. You destroy everything. And that's part of the wisdom and stability. Like if I could, I just made a post the other day that said one of the best things or the realest thing Jeremiah Hyman ever said is, don't embarrass the man in Jeremiah.
That's it.
It's so many times where I have an interaction with somebody and I know if I react like this, it's going to embarrass the school because I know better. You see what I'm saying? It's times where, you know what I'm saying, it could be your rib, it could be anything. It could be your woman, somebody in your family try to embarrass you, try to do something to you, and you like, I really could embarrass you way worse than this, but I'm not going to do it because
you gotta choose wisely when it comes to that woman's life.
It would embarrass Commander General Yohana. It will make me a bad representation of my school, and to make me a bad representation of Christ. You know what I'm saying? So we don't understand. Even so, the tongue is a little member and boast of great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth. Like just something that you say can create a war in the city, man. And you done made this song disrespecting these people, and it's like, okay, well, since you made that song about us, we gonna make sure at least 10 of y'all drop by the end of the summer. Like you don't know. That's how people coming behind what you say. But if you got wisdom to keep you stable, you gonna look at a situation and be like, oh, that's not really worth it. I know what they can turn into if I say this thing or that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like even
you're just
like,
speaking about period. It's just how we should move. Yeah.
Right. Even back in the day, like my pop was in the streets, right? But when he rapped, he never rapped about the streets. He rapped about building and doing all this other stuff. He was in the streets, but he never rapped about it. You see what I'm saying?
You want to hear something funny though? No, I want to be real with you. I think I was talking about it with my reel one time. I was like, man, the rap music that's going on now, they promoting drill music to a 13-year-old. I remember we was on Nickelodeon, like trying to look up, you know what I mean, the rap from Disney Channel.
Right,
we were vibing to that.
Right.
That was our vibe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We was out there double dutching, jump rope, hopscotch, and all that. I'm just saying, you know what I mean, because it was a certain rap music for a certain age, and you know when I got around my uncles and I listened to Twister, you know, listen to the Art Killer and all that. But you know, I'm listening to the Bow Wow. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I'm on. You know what I mean? You know, it's gonna get back to that because you know now they're trying to really just put now you got 40-year-olds dressing like Chief Keef, right? Mixing everything into one and making that up like they're making your culture. That's not really black culture.
If I could too, another thing you're saying about that influence is when I was a kid, like everybody today that walk around half naked, they give the credit to Lil' Kim. When I was a kid and I seen Lil' Kim half naked, I didn't like that at all. To this day, I still don't like that. I wouldn't listen to her music. I ain't like seeing her videos. I'm like, why is she naked? Like she outside naked. Like I used to like Aaliyah and Alicia Keys and Nia Long and you know what I'm saying, all these other black women. Even back in the day, I watched some old school movies with them black women with them afros. I'm like, she pretty, but they had their clothes on. Yeah. So the first time I seen a woman outside half naked and she was trying to make music, I'm like, and she rapping about vulgar stuff. I didn't like that. Yeah, because I was used to other R&B about love, or it seemed like it's about love. Some R&B singers were scandalous too, talking about cheating and all that. But it wasn't as vulgar as I did this and I did that. And coming from a woman, I never liked Lil' Kim. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying the sister wasn't straight, you know what I'm saying, before, but I never liked that. So now it's like today, once again, what you say, your image you put out, man, it makes things worse. Because now we go from Lil' Kim to Sexy Red, where she'll just say, hey, I got STDs and all this. And that's crazy, man. And whatever. Like, our people have lost shame, righteous shame.
Man, you bringing it out so heavy, and I'm going to come after you with this. I remember when I think I ain't gonna mention his name. I'm not gonna mention that cat name. But I remember when coming up, you know what I'm saying? I know we ain't too far away from each other. But I remember coming up, man, and you used to say your chips for your girlfriend when you get on the bus. Like, no, these my girlfriend chips. The smaller thing. The smallest thing, man.
Now I was one of them. Make sure my girl. What do you say? To this day.
Yeah, to this day.
Make sure my girl got a little. I'm gonna go see if my girl wants a snack.
Yeah, but you know the smallest thing matter, and they used to appreciate it. But now you gotta have $300,000. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? A precedent does sometimes, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you give a girl, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that. Okay, you know, once they get a little grown, they're gonna want a little more. But I'm just saying, you look at some of these little girls today, man. The man, I'm talking about, it's already put in their mind. I got a daughter, you know what I'm saying? So I got to raise up my daughter right. I mean, within this kingdom, and you start to see, look at these young girls, man. With that, man, this issue scary, you know. But you know, with us, you know, we go and get the job done. But without the Israelite school of UPK, man, this would come zombie land. Right. Everybody lost.
And if I could, that just go into the scripture even more when it says the tongue is small member, but it make a great fire, man. The things that we speak about ourselves, man, like the women that just tell you, like, oh, I'm a hoe. That's just what it is. They got something called 304 TikTok where they
man, you seen that? I already know where you going. Don't go, man. The girl admitted to it, and this man, she said, "Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I gotta make this point." Oh no, I'm gonna let you finish. Brother.
Like just what we've been allowed to say and what we've been saying to each other and to ourselves for so long, man. It just take us down a path where it's like, well, what do you tell your daughter when she grows up and those are the people that are supposed to be iconic and somebody half naked, somebody that's fighting. Like they got the Zeus network where it's just like you just get the ratchetest, best fighting women in the world who can handle it, and you take them on a tour of ratchet and fighting, and just that's it. It's just twerking, fighting, talking about one another in surgery. That's all that's going on with the women.
So you gotta wake up, Israel, because that's the image that they made of us.
Right. And so like it's just heavy, man. And this goes back to everything we've been talking about today. Coming out of this place, man. Don't be a so-called whore, 304 like the oppressor wants you to be, man. You understand what I'm saying? If you're a brother, man, don't be an evil brother out here. You know what I'm saying? Just running the streets and terrorizing each other, trying to make drill music. The music ass anyway. It's like anybody gonna remember that. So we not gonna be bumping.
Man, I talk about this all the time. I was just a hater when it comes to Southern. He's from Philly.
I ain't said it. The drill music is only good.
Just like it's all my Philadelphia.
It's only good for the gym. That's what I want to hear. When I'm hitting them weights, that's what I want to hear. When I'm
still listen to it?
Living in my life. No. A lot of it is trash. Can't find the rap.
It's like, I hate to get off subject, but we got, what I mean. No, you go ahead.
But you want me to keep going with this or?
No. We gotta get. No, you already touched. We gotta get into these women's scriptures. But now, because I want to piggyback off of what you just said with the Proverbs 31, where it says that she brought food from afar. But price is better than rubies. I want to get that only because based off of that point that you had made about that, we gotta get into that. We gotta get into that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because I know we're gonna get sisters up in here, man, and you know what I mean. You gotta teach them the right things. You know what I'm saying? Get this thing up and rolling out here in Augusta, man. But and all the UPK, we gotta raise our women up right. You know what I mean? They gotta hear these powerful scriptures, knowing that this is about them.
Right. Where you want me to start at? 31.
If you're gonna start from, we can start at verse 10. That's the one. That's the one I got down here. The one where it says price of rubies and
the book of Proverbs.
I don't know the difference. Just by looking at the precepts I wrote down. Because once we get into the scriptures, you know what I'm saying, we just gotta start from what we know. We know it, but we want to make sure we start at the right point. I got my brother with me, so he gonna get me right.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Mm-hmm.
For her price is far above rubies.
See, this is to understand. You 304s out there. You know what I mean? I ain't mean to cut you off earlier, brother, but I wanted to bring out that point. I seen the video the other day. She said, yes, I'm a 304. I got raised up by a righteous daddy and a mother. She said, y'all think that y'all got to have some broken homes to be a 304? She said, but guess what? I'm one. And I had both of my parents. I said, man, Israel ain't ish, man. What I'm saying is this. She think just because she got both of her parents that, you know what I mean, it still can cause, what she doesn't understand is that we have an oppressor. Of course you can have both of your parents. I had both of mine. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean, are they teaching you the right things? And not saying that they wouldn't teach her. If you're not in the truth, that's the point that I want to hit. You can have both of your parents at the end of the day. If they're in that Christian church, you can still end up being, I can't say molested.
Maybe on Facebook and YouTube. It's TikTok. The script.
That's the TikTok. Okay. You can still end up being molested by being in the Christian church, and every Christian knows this. My brother wanted to say something. Go ahead.
Nah, if I could, what you just was bringing out, you know what I'm saying? That's definitely heavy because I literally just had this conversation with my rear. And I was explaining to her, I was like, you see people that grow up in these Christian homes and these so-called good Christian homes, and it's like, and it don't profit our people nothing because they don't know the scriptures. So 2 black parents in a Christian house are going to raise their child to be to the point where he don't want to date a black woman, even though he got a black mom. He loves his mom.
And a black daddy.
And he still going to date a white woman. You know why? Because you have put the spirit of another people in them. You understand what I'm saying? You think you raising them right. You raising them right to get along with the oppressor. So really, you leading him to go in that direction. You're raising the coolie like that. You see what I'm saying? You're raising the cat that's going, he going to go through life and he going to go, you know what? This the type of woman I need to be with right here. Because that's the epitome of what a good woman is in America is Esau's woman.
All I'm saying is that you're racist.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. So like,
that's a Christian thing. We get used to what sounds good.
Right.
We ain't used to open our ears and really hearing what can really help us.
Right.
You breaking it out so heavy.
Who can find a virtuous woman for her price is far above rubies? And that going to what we've been talking about all class.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like the sisters is now, you meet a woman, you like, oh, I want to meet a woman from a 2-parent home because statistics say you're gonna be better off if you got both your parents. You gonna meet this woman and she, you know what I'm saying? The worst type of like she's self-aware of why she like that. She like, I was raised in a good environment, but that ain't gonna stop.
Something is triggered in that. I mean, if you ask, okay, I'm not the wisest man in the world. I'm not gonna act like I am. But if you ask me, something is kind of wrong with that household because you see the confidence. I mean, if she was raised and because you only grow up to see, especially if you have both of your parents, you want to make sure nothing ain't off. Right. In the household, for her to just be so confident that like, yeah, I had both of my parents in my household and I'm still a 304. Who like something that was kind of wrong there. You know what I mean? Because like I described earlier, I kind of grew up in not kind of. Well, if it's not in the truth, it is kind of. But I grew up in a household where, our women was confident in treating a man right. They just didn't know how to do it. Right. They seen a small example on how to do it, but they just didn't know how to do it based off of being in this world and not being taught the truth. Especially with the agenda our oppressors got coming out on us every year. It seems like it gets worse and worse. Every year, it seems like the agenda gets stronger and stronger, and black men become weaker and weaker, and our sisters become more 304s, and they're gonna become 308s. They're gonna become 808s in a minute. They're gonna be bumping. Like I ain't even say that. But I'm just being honest. But what I mean by that is that I just like I said about the women before, they had a small. It's a certain spirit that a woman had towards a black man. They love his beard. They just love looking at a black man knowing that he's a part of her. Now it's like he's nothing but another nigga. And we surprised on where that comes from. Mm-hmm. They talk crazy to you. You know what I mean? They disrespect you. I'm talking about, I remember my grandmother, she was born in 1943. She dead now. It's like she's unalive. Well, she deceased. Right. Yeah, I know we on YouTube and everything like that. I know everything is restricted. I don't know what to say. But so she's deceased now. But I remember one time where it was a time to where I had a girlfriend. I was not old enough to have a girlfriend, but she used to let the girlfriend come around the house and stuff like that, swing with me on the swing. I used to buy candy apples from the ice cream truck. We had an ice cream truck that used to come around and we had candy apples. And the girl was yelling at me one time, and my grandmother came out. She said, one thing you don't do is you don't yell at a man. She said, you got to be smooth, baby. She said, I see y'all be doing, I don't argue with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't step in none of y'all business. But one thing you don't do is argue with a man. I wasn't even a man. I'm 8 years old. Mm-hmm. But I guess I moved like that my whole entire life. She seen in me what she seen in my dad, which is her son. Right. You know what I mean? So it's a certain spirit that these old women have. You know what I mean? Well, a certain way they was taught.
So they're supposed to have it.
Yeah, they're supposed to have it where it's like, one thing you don't do this, baby. You know what I mean? Calm down. The same way I'm on my rib today. You know what I mean? It's like, man, you know, this is a different generation we living in. Go ahead.
If I could, you know what I'm saying, and that go into like what you bringing out in Proverbs 31 about this type of woman, because that wisdom by itself will save a lot of relationships. And,
Thank you.
And I'm gonna say it from this perspective, right? This is what women don't understand about men. We fight each other, and we will take each other's life. If you keep being combative with us, and you activating my system that makes me think that I'm fighting with somebody, or I'm arguing with somebody. Because if I'm just outside and me and a brother get into an argument, I know in a quarter of a second, if one of us makes a decision, somebody could lose their life out here today.
Right. And because we're in the truth, we know how to deal with it more. Picture what brothers in the world would do.
So just peep though. You and your wife, y'all having a conversation, y'all supposed to be working together, you supposed to be her head, and it's like she start coming at you, yelling at you, and you try to talk, and it's like now I can't explain or just take the pause to go, you know what? I'm really in my heart trying to move us in the right direction, but you keep yelling at me. So now it's like, man, bro, like you my enemy? Like, what's going on? Like, you're activating something in me that's like that, and it's like, that's what's gonna make a brother go find a woman that don't yell like that.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
You know what I'm saying?
hey, if one don't do the job, that's what I gotta do. Go find another one, and that's what a man's supposed to do. And that's I mean, what it is. I mean, I done see my grandmother do. I mean, let me tell you something, man. We got enough time for me to explain this other story again. That goes in. Matter of fact, let me. I'm gonna have you read that one more time. Precept if you want it. No, give me your precept. Man, you been hitting it all night, man.
This is the book.
Slocky, pause.
Slocky. Nah, but listen, this is credit to your grandma, right? This is
go ahead.
This is when the Bible say we do the things in the law without even knowing. Like this is your grandma. Mm-hmm. Proverbs 9 and verse 13. It says, "A foolish woman is clamorous." Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? She is simple and knoweth nothing. That day, your grandma gave that young sister some wisdom. That if she took that, she could have that for the rest of her life, man. Don't be just talking and clamorous and loud and yelling and doing all that, even though you don't even know what's going on or your position. Like, you really not supposed to be arguing with a man.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Like, being sweet to your man is going to get you more than anything. Now, the problem is our men not in the right state right now. So now that's why in the scriptures it say a father got to give his daughter to a man of understanding. You see what I'm saying? To where he know what to do with a woman, because you try to give your softer self to a man that you shouldn't even be dealing with in the first place.
Exactly.
So that's the problem. That's why you got to yell. But then you get a man you don't got to yell at, and you yell at him too, because that's what you think you're supposed to do with a man. Yell at him and catch him lying and cheating. That's all your whole relationship is based off of.
Man, and it is what it is. Because I tell you this, because that grandmother that I just told you about, she raised up by 3 decades of women, and it lasted only to where the agenda of our president came over. I remember when even the woman who raised me was my cousin, and she was still raised by my grandmother. Because my mother, not to get too much of our business out, because I don't want nobody to know me, but I gotta stick to the topic, and whatever we bringing out, we got to make sense. My cousin who raised me, she was raised by my grandmother, and I remember she used to make meals for everybody, and she'd sit back and eat noodles. And long as she heard forks hitting the plate, she was satisfied. You know what I mean? But longer, and that's kind of what I got my spirit from. You know what I mean? And my father was the same type. Even though he had his ways, but he was raised by his mother as well. His father, which was I don't get into that, but they still had values and of themselves of how to take care of each other. I would say, right. Not like the scripture wise, right. But how we can live, which I really live 13 deep in one house. But we always gather together on how to put food on the plates. Right. So I really seen this coming up, you know what I mean, of women with that spirit. But, you know, it races down the line when our Christians have an agenda and we can't gather ourselves together upon the law, statutes, and commandments and turn our women and really build our women into the women they're supposed to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's, you know, it's crazy. You know, but we getting there in the Israelite School of UPK. We building this nation up brick by brick.
That's right.
You know what I mean? We turning these women in with you know what I mean, up on the commandant's journey, Johanna, and what he taught us, you know what I mean, and the men who taught him, man. We doing a beautiful job in here, and I thank God for him.
That's right.
Yeah, go ahead. Start with you.
Proverbs 31:11. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil.
He have no need of spoil. Keep going. But this is smooth right here with what the scriptures is saying. Go ahead.
She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
And she would do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She gonna hear him out. She gonna understand where he's coming from. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands.
Mm-hmm.
She is like the merchant ship. She bringeth her food from afar.
She bringeth her food from afar. It ain't say close. She bringeth her food from afar. Keep going.
She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens.
Right, and I agree. But you want to know what I hate about this argument and this 50-50 situation? I want to see what your thought is on this. I know this is a class, but you know, everybody can learn from the UPK brothers and what we bringing out, as long with the scriptures that we bringing out. What I hate about this is that, man, I feel like, you know, this is really dividing us, really, because our press is doing their thing with it. I can't stand it. You know, this whole 50-50 situation is crazy to me, because right now, you know, as us being in this captivity, you know, we are not able to do certain things as we supposed to do biblically. You know, if you have a man out there, he's doing what he got to do, especially in Israelite School of UPK, he's being a soldier. That means that you're going to do what you got to do, and you're going to take up the other half regardless of what, you know what I mean, his income is or whatever it is, because we got to believe in God first.
Right. Now, if I could, these scriptures is bringing it out like the way that the 50-50 is coming from a lot of these women is they don't want to do nothing, they don't want to listen, they still don't want to cook. So it's like, even in the book of Proverbs, like this virtue is not talking about, you know what I'm saying, anything besides how useful she make herself. You know what I'm saying? Anything besides like the way she treats people and take care of everything. Like you feeding everybody or you going out, because one of these scriptures is going to say that she go out and look for a piece of land. Like she going out and looking for land. Like that don't mean that she's not doing anything. And we just got to use good sense. If you're a family, you building together, man. You understand what I'm saying? Like it was this article that I read about it being 90,000 more men than 90,000 more women than men in Philadelphia. And it wasn't like that when they're kids. It's when they get older. And one of the things is they was talking about is a lot of black men have to work stressful and laborious jobs in order to take care of their family. That's hard on their body, and it kill them. You see what I'm saying? So if you a sister and I hear you saying, I'm not going 50-50 with no man, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that,
I'm not dealing with you.
I'm just not going to deal with you at all, because you're already in the wrong spirit. Like,
can I say
you should be by yourself. But even like this happened. Like, I think my rib cousin was talking about a man she knew that died, and she got to explaining it. And she was like, everybody at the funeral was fighting over his money. And I asked the question, like, yo, was when he was alive, he was taking care of all the women? And they was like, yeah, I think it was his mom, his woman, and his daughter or his stepdaughter. And all they did was taking that man. He took care of all three of them. Paid for their cars, paid for everything, like paying their apartments, paying for everything. And he died young, like I think in his early 50s or somewhere in his 50s. Like he died kind of young. And I'm like, y'all killed that brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you never know. You know what I mean? How the Lord might have dealt with it.
When he wake up every day, it's like, I gotta do this for you. I gotta do this for you. I gotta do this for you. And they all was just.
If he was taught right, he would have never did it.
You see what I'm saying? Like you, as a sister, man, you don't want to make yourself like another burden of oppression. Like the Bible says, you will help me. You know what I'm saying? You're not here to sit here and just, oh, I'm being taken care of. I do what I want to do. All I do is shop online, and you know what I'm saying. Then when you come home, I didn't work 6, 8 hours, 12 hours, been driving this truck all night, whatever I've been doing, and you come home and then she like, oh, what you bring home to eat? What you mean? What the fuck was you doing? You know what I'm saying? It should be a 5-course meal in this month.
Right. It should be, but I'm gonna tell you this. I say this because you know what I mean. Just by using the little wisdom that I got, you know what I mean, and just by being the person that I am. These women talk all that crap, right? And I say this: it depends on what man you have, because the way that ours might order his woman, and I will say order, yes, because we control our women. If I can control it, I don't want it. The way he might order his woman may be different the way I order mine. I'm a cook. I love to cook. I make all the meals. I might not have her cook nothing. As long as I can be able to tell her what to do, that's all that matters.
Right.
I can make sure food is on the table. You know what I'm saying? I can make sure this is done. You know what I'm saying? Especially being in captivity. Now I can order my woman on how much power she has. She ain't got no power over me. But when things need to be done, it needs to be done.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if I say, okay, I got the meals on the table, I got this, I just need you to do this. You know what I mean? And this is just a man making structure within this captivity, just make sure things are done. That's some things that the women don't pay attention to.
Right.
Now, with being up under our oppressor, they think shit sloppy. They think things should be done a certain type of way. You know what I mean? Instead of saying that I need to build with this man within this kingdom that we are living in that's oppressing us. So whatever we have to do, what make work, we gonna have to do, regardless of what it is. Mm-hmm. So he might gotta do this one day. might do this one day. He gotta go out there with the soldiers and do this, and he might be gone for a month. So be it. I trust him enough to make the decision. It is what it is. Right. And if women would get that, but it takes faith to do that. And I know the job that we have ain't easy, and I know the things that we've been through ain't easy. But I want to take this as, because you got certain women out there, they'll say that, well, you want me to come home, cook, clean. I had a woman that I was arguing with the other day about that. I said, woman, I do the most cooking in my house. I ain't met no woman that cook better than me. This is just facts. Who said that a man wants you to do that? I don't want you to do that. A bar, man, brothers ate my food. I make some of the best chicken. You know what I mean? I don't even require my woman to do it. To be honest with you, she has a certain gift for herself. I put her in that lane, and she takes care of that. And she gonna serve the Most High through that. Right. You know what I mean? Whatever your gift is, you serve the Most High through that. If I see a brother, he has a gift, we're gonna raise him up. You know what I mean? With the permission through the man above me, and we gonna raise him up through that. A barrier has a gift to teach and raise up brothers. I'm raised up through that. If I have a brother, officer of cars, I gotta give an officer of cars. He made some of the best grill food I ever ate. Officer of cars, if you watch it, get with me. You know what I mean? And I remember the captain at the time was putting him on the grill. He gonna get raised up to that. I mean, it's his gift. I know he has other gifts as well, but he stayed on that grill. Right. And guess what? He got raised up to that. Right. That's like I hate y'all giving me a text, man. It's like, go ahead.
Nah, if I could, what you bringing out is heavy, and that's definitely what has been taught to me in school, man. Is whatever role in your family it make the most sense to do it. You know what I'm saying? There might be a time where your woman work and you taking care of everything else. There might be a time when you work and your woman taking everything else. You might have a child that's gifted and they 10 years old and they just so gifted, they start making money to where it's like, dang, well, we got to take this child to work every day. And they making the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't never know, like, it as far as our people go, man, like, and it's like a very basic principle, you know what I'm saying, to Israelites is you do things for your house. You know what I'm saying? You establish a house, you establish kids, lineage, everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, You buy land, that's like your family's estate. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been doing that since back then. You know what I'm saying? Your father might have a vineyard, that might be your family's vineyard. You know what I'm saying? Y'all work, y'all own land, and y'all handle what y'all got to handle. You never know what your role might be. You know what I'm saying? The women might be in the field sometimes. You might be in the field. The women might be pressing grapes. You got to press them grapes. And that's just a metaphor of that particular situation for whatever you got to do in your home, man. And our sisters have been, like Yediah said, man, they want to be free, white, and 21. So they want to be like a white woman that don't got to work. You know what I'm saying? It's just married to some Edomite to pay for everything, but really he crazy. It's
going to require, man, especially with this truth, man, because a woman, I agree, she's not supposed to be working 40 hours a week. You know, it's like our general said in the class, you know what I'm saying? Brothers are not really equipped like our oppressors are to have everything. So we got to do everything wisely. If you have a woman out there and she feel like she's putting in too much work, you know what I mean? I mean, come on, man, we all slaves.
Right.
You got to understand that, you know what I mean? We all in the same situation. We got to get through it together. Right. You ain't working harder more than your husband work hard. I guarantee you his job is harder than yours. Make sure these kids are straight. Make sure they, and then again, if you have a man that works with you, man, that's kind of hard to find. You can go find another nigga like that in the world.
Right.
Go out there in the world and try to find him. Luckily, he don't molest your daughter. And not talking bad about our brothers, but man, if you ain't equipped with this, man, then you know what I mean. It's certain, you know what I mean, things that these women got to be careful for. You know. And that those are certain things that we gotta do. I wanna bring up one more. I probably want you to start back off of what you left off at before we close it out. Let's get Proverbs 31 at the top. One more time.
At 10.
Okay.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, and verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
Go ahead.
The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
She will do him good and not evils all the days of her life. She knows what he has to do as a man, especially living in this oppression that we're living in. But she will not do him evil all the days of her life. Keep going.
She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ship. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field and buyeth it.
Right. Well, it just shows you the wisdom that a woman should have. You know what I mean? And how wise she is when it comes to making a decision. And you know, the way that we get our women like that today, it's only coming inside the truth in the Israelite School of BK and learning the way a woman should be.
That's right. You
have to build yourself up strong out here, sisters, by coming inside the Israelite School of BK and learning the real way that a woman should be. And you can only build yourself up as a brother by coming in the Israelite School of BK and learning the way a woman should be. I ain't gonna take too much time up, man. We had our time right now, man. We had a good time. We started off with it. Man, this is how it is, man. You don't ever want to give up. You always want to, you know what I mean? Always stand to the end, man. You know, Officer Barrio was tired at the beginning, man. We got it done, but you know, we always got to stand strong, Israel. And the topic of the day is wake up, Israel, because we living in some hard times, and we always want to endure to the end. Y'all tune in to ISUPK Augusta, ISUPK South Carolina, which is a part of the camp. Augusta is part of the ISUPK South Carolina camp, and tune into ISUPK all through the four corners of the earth, wherever we are located, man. Y'all pay y'all tithes. See y'all at the Passover. And I will say shalom. I'll see y'all soon.